What's up everybody, and welcome to Crack Kills Quick Hits for Week 8 and for the first half of the season. My favorite episode of Quick Hits. Let's take a look at the players that have made waves in the first half of this season. Quick hit number 1, the MVP. We have to look no further than Tom Brady of all business. Brady might not be the highest scoring player, but his 113 points are 14 clear of the second best quarterback, and Brady is scoring almost 19 points a game. Brady's importance to all business cannot be overstated. Of course, he leads the team, but he also is the straw that stirs the drink, with Rob Gronkowski, the Beaver Steven Gostkowski, and even Chandler Jones play affected by how Brady performs. Of course, many didn't know how Brady would come out this year, facing the Deflategate allegations in the offseason. He has shown to be just as deadly as usual, and has had a look in his eye that shows that maybe teams might not want to face him the rest of the season. All business will continue to lead on Tom Brady, in hopes of turning the 7-0 start into an even better finish. Quick hit number 2, Offensive Player of the Year. The Offensive Player of the Year through the first half of the season is Devonta Freeman of the Mean Genes. Freeman was a nobody in the beginning of the year. The Genes took him in the 12th round, essentially hoping for him to be a handcuff to rookie running back Tevin Coleman. Instead, Freeman has exploded. He leads all scorers and is putting up almost 21 points a game. His 10 touchdowns lead the league, and the Genes' only loss of the season came with Freeman not in the lineup. Other players that have been great on the offensive side of the ball include DeAndre Hopkins for all business and Julio Jones for the Tinfoil Kings. All of these players will try to continue their huge offensive performances as we head into the second half of the season. Quick hit number 3, Defensive Player of the Year. Now this one's tough. This has been a category dominated by J.J. Watt over the last few years, but this year, Watt is nowhere to be found. Instead, we'll turn to the Tinfoil Kings, Tyrann Mathieu. The Honey Badger, as he is known, has been great this year for the Kings, putting up double figures in 2 games and pulling down 2 interceptions, a sack, 8 pass defenses, and 1 house party touchdown. Mathieu has been virtually everywhere for the Kings, and he will continue to roam their defensive backfield down the second half stretch, hoping to take his team to the playoffs. Quick hit number 4, Rookie of the Year. This one, in a nail-biter, goes to Amari Cooper of Phil's Fugitives. Cooper has been huge with double figures in 4 out of his 6 games and has been the key to Phil's Fugitives' 3 straight wins. Cooper came out of Alabama and was a first-round pick, although many didn't know how he would transition. He had a great catch-and-run last week that shows that he is here to stay and could be a future NFL star. Choosing Cooper was not easy, however, as there's another player that has come on in the last few weeks, Todd Gurley of Geno 911. Gurley was stolen from the cops along with a first and second round pick, and Geno has employed him to great success the last 2 weeks. Gurley found the end zone the first 2 times of his career last week and needs just 93 yards to put up the most yardage in a first 4 games in NFL history. We'll see if Gurley can continue churning out the yards in the second half of the season, as he could be a big part of Geno's run down the stretch. Quick hit number 5, Surprise of the Year. Now, of course, it would be easy to choose Devonta Freeman here, but let's look a little deeper. And on the same roster, with Gary Barnidge, tight end of the Mean Genes. Barnidge was a relative nobody coming into this season and wasn't even on a roster for the first few weeks, but his ability to catch many passes and touchdowns, including the great Thigh Master catch, has been why Barnidge has been in the Genes lineup, many times spelling the disappointing Travis Kelce. The Genes have been very excited to grab Barnidge this year, and not only has Barnidge been a great player, but his movie trivia have been a laugh for the Genes locker room. We'll see if Barnidge can continue through the second half of the season, because at this point, it seems like the Browns have forgotten about Dre. And finally, the big one. Quick hit number 6, Owner of the Year. Come on, this one's easy. We're going with all business, the league leader and 7-0. Let's just take a look at the numbers for this all business team. They have the top 2 quarterbacks scoring, the number 3 running back, the number 1 scoring wide receiver, the number 1 scoring tight end, and the number 1 scoring kicker. This is a team that has done almost nothing on the waiver wire and is relying on perhaps one of the best drafts in league history. Can All Business ride the 7-0 record to an even better start and break the G-Men's 10 straight wins to start the season? Or will they start to go downhill? It's hard to see things falling apart for All Business with the core that they have. 2 other owners, though, may be considered the owners of the year. One, the Mean Genes, one that many would have expected to start the season. The Genes have overcome a huge injury to Dez Bryant and a nagging injury to Marshawn Lynch to keep pace with All Business, losing just once this season. They also stole Devontae Freeman in the draft and grabbed Gary Barnidge, as we mentioned earlier. Another team that many might not put in this case, though, is Geno 911. Geno is in their first year in the league and is 3-4, but the Todd Gurley trade put them on the map immediately. Now, Geno will need more consistency as they went from scoring 44 points one week to 146 the next. But if they can keep things together, Geno's run in the league may be much more successful than early teams have had in the past. And finally, as is tradition with Quick Hits, let's take a look at the 2 players to watch for not this week, but for the rest of the season. First, we're keeping an eye on Martavis Bryant of the Tinfoil Kings. The Kings drafted Bryant, stashed him on their bench for much of the season as Bryant served a substance abuse suspension. But Bryant has been huge in 2 games back, catching touchdowns in both. This is even without his quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. The Kings will hope that Bryant can continue to soar in the second half of the season, and he could be the crown jewel the Kings need to get back to the promised land. And on the defensive side, we'll keep an eye on Jason Pierre-Paul of the highly trained Apes. The Apes brought in Pierre-Paul this week, and although he probably won't make an impact immediately, the Apes are hoping that Pierre-Paul can return to form. Of course, he'll be playing with a club on one hand, and it will be interesting to watch and see how that affects his game. Something tells me that his speed has not been affected by losing 2 fingers, though. That's it for Crack Kills Quick Hits, looking back at the first half of the season. Good luck to everyone the second half of the season, and good luck this week to everybody, except Larry's guys.
Gotta stick to swim.